Alright guys, we are here. It is light day. We received the lights in the mail. Everything looks good. No bent or broken boxes. I've been kind of thinking about this and tossing a few ideas around. I would like to keep this fan next to that window because that's an exterior wall, exterior room, or not, excuse me, an adjacent room and another adjacent room. This equipment on this wall doesn't make any noise. We'd like to keep it like that, and we like to keep this stuff furthest on the exterior part of the house. We don't want anything over here humming and buzzing, making unnecessary noises next to the door. So those are things to consider. That's what I've considered, and that's what I plan to do. So that fan is going to stay there, the carbon scrubber. I'm going to reduct this, basically just kind of extend it up and over and cap it up into this current existing one, thus deleting these hoods. That's pretty much it. So what I got to do is I got to take these lights down. I got to take a couple measurements, and then we're going to start hanging them, and it's as simple as that. Alright, well that concludes the install, guys. I know I didn't actually get to anything technical about it because it's pretty straightforward. Each pack, so each light came with a patch of ratchet straps. They came with 2 bridle rigs, so bridle cable, 2 of them for each fixture, total of 6. And as you can see, instead of clipping the ratchet strap to an eye bolt, and it just was like really long, it made it hang down like another 10 inches at least. What I did is I just lassoed the strap, the ratchet strap around the top of the 2x4, and that gave me the clearance that I'm looking for in this specific room. This room is kind of one of those rooms that's like an evolutional process. It seems to go between mothers, teens, and clones, and that's why we run Coco. Because a few of you were asking me, why don't you run DWC there? Well, the reason why is because we do so much here that it's just the revolving rate of plants changes. It could be, I could end up taking a bunch of cuts off of a mother and end up flowering the mothers, you know, right here on these trays. Or I could take a bunch of cuts and have enough time to veg them out properly, and I could be running, you know, XYZ plants on these trays. I don't want to get into specific numbers, but you see what I'm saying. So it could definitely go in between a scrog, like a medium scrog, and a wild fucking SOG. So it just depends on what's going on in this room and this tent, and mothers and clones coming in from another place. So the basis of this video was to show you what we did here with the lights. So if you're wondering like how to wire these all up in tandem, they're actually, so you could see the board, what it looked like before. We removed all these ballasts, all this. There was 4 just chunky old school, man, 1970 ballasts here, probably even older than that technology. It still works, okay? So I don't want to piss any of the HPS fans off, but I'm making note here and inspire the good growers that are really good with HPS to take a second look at LED. And this is not a sales video, okay? I'm just purely trying to make a statement here based off my own observations over the last years, let's say years, 1 year with these LEDs, and I have doubled the amount of yield that I have gotten every harvest, every time. If not double, like literally, you know, another 75% more. It's very close. So typically double. So we got a 100 amp panel. I got 30 amps breaker. Okay, going from here, this is a 240 30 amp. So going from here, we ran flex, or I ran flex, and used some hangers all the way to the box, so you guys can see how that went into the back of the box. There are fittings here for going into the box, so when you're picking up your supplies, measure that stuff prior, because every control box is different. Trust me, one time I had one that was like 1 and an 8. It was something wild. Anyway, I think that was 8 layer. These This is a switch on and off, and I can actually, when this fan comes on, I don't even think I think I'm gonna run this fan right to this box. And this is a 120 volt outlet. So basically when, I used to use this a lot. Sorry, I was already aware of that feature. That's nothing new to me. So yeah, when the lights come on, that comes on at the same time. Lights go off, that goes off. So they run together in parallel, so that if a light was to come on, your scrubber, your fans, your ventilation equipment can come on at the same time. The only thing is, I don't think that's amped highly. It's definitely not like a 20 amp, so don't run 15 or 20 amps in that. I think it's pretty low from what I recollect. So either way, it doesn't matter. It's not like we're up there just trying to run off of that 120. We got a 120 timer so we got a 20 amp right here, coming down to the EMT, going to the duplex box, 4-inch box. You can get all this stuff at Home Depot, your hardware store. And this is the timer. So eventually you'll see a timer right here, and the timer will control these lights. I'm still working on getting a control panel, so you know, you kind of really don't need it. I kind of feel like if I was to go out and get one right now, it would be unnecessary. But don't get me wrong, if they're Wi-Fi and they connect to your phone and you like all that fancy stuff, go for it. But I'm not really into that fancy stuff. So I probably would never use it. I might dabble around with it once or twice, connecting it to a Wi-Fi, and then forget all about it. So that's kind of how I work. But I did connect these in tandem. So one goes to 2, and then 1 goes to 2, and then so on and so on. Now what happens when these are all the way dimmed down, when I come up here and I turn when I turn the knob, they all light up. That's 100% right there, and that is literally blinding. My camera just is set on like intelligent mode, and it's going crazy right now. It's having a hard time adjusting to the lighting in this room. It's nuts. So sorry if it looks all weird. I'm going to turn it down to get it back to some normal perspective. But you can see the diodes in the Spider Farmer lights. Any of you are curious, that's what they look like. It looks like they're running 2 different spectrums within this white panel, and then it looks like they're running a red spectrum in between the white panels. So there's a bluer light, and then there's a whiter light, and then there's the red lights, so if that makes any sense. Alright, so pretty easy. So initially I was going to go ahead and clip one of the extension cords, and I was going to run a duplex box. This is another option from the controller that was mounted here. Plug it in. I was just going to run the extension cord up and mount the duplex box on the wall and plug all the lights right into that box. The problem with that is dangerous, so I don't advise it. If you eventually pull too much power on that cord, you're going to melt. You will melt the ends of these. You'll see them start to turn black. The extension cord will be drawing too much power and get hot. The reason I didn't end up doing that is because this was a 14 gauge right there. It says 14. If it was a 12 or a 10 gauge extension cord, I probably would have just nipped it, used a duplex box and ran that up on the ceiling. But I already had hangers. This is what I used, by the way, so I can show everybody. This is number 8, and this is just blue. I used all blue. And you just tape them red, you tape one black, you tape one neutral, and you run your wire. Obviously your green is your ground, and you run all that stuff. Sorry, you know what? I took pictures at the end of this video. Look at the photos, and you'll be able to see what I did inside this box. And you'll be able to see what the wall looks like before and after. It looks so much fucking cleaner right now. Like, it's like, come on. There's so much more headroom in here. There's, you know, with with the spectrums and with the tolerances of LEDs, like they allow you to run hotter temperatures, so you're not running as much BTUs as far as cooling. They're more efficient. They're actually saving you money. Each one of these units, I want to say, is like 500, 550 watts. So something like that. I'm super stoked and excited to get this room like popping. So what I'm going to do right now is let you go. I got to get back to the crib. It's getting kind of late. And I just, like I said, I just mounted this box right on the ceiling. That was a safer thing to do, is just run some flex, some hangers, some number 8 wire, and run it straight to the ceiling and plug all the lighting fixtures directly into the ceiling. So obviously this is now that's our disconnect, if you will, but we also have this and the main breaker. So this is a sub panel. The next time you see us on this video, we're gonna have plants in this room. We're gonna have the tables laid out, and we'll have some kind of an idea on the layout. Right now I don't know exactly what kind of layout we're going to put here. I don't know if I'm gonna run mothers, or if I'm gonna run teens, or if I'm gonna go all out and run clones. I just don't know yet. We're gonna have to kind of evaluate that over the next week, and I'll get back to you next week. So next Tuesday, Wednesday, I'll get back to you and let you know exactly what's going to be happening in this room. I'm kind of leaning towards running the plants that we do have in this tent at the mothers, and allowing the smaller ones to mature into a more proper sized, you know, plants that I would normally run in here. But either way, it's basically, I'm showing you guys everything that I do from start to finish. Cloning, we haven't got into feeding yet, and we'll take care of feeding and nutrient recipes, how to use the nutrients you have, in another video. So stay tuned, look forward to that. We're going to try and cover as much as possible. I know it's not even feasible to cover all aspects and technicalities of growing in a video. It's just not. But my goal is to make this the most informative video series that there is on the internet. I don't want it to be redundant. I do not like being redundant. At some point in time, I feel like, you know, I've said everything that I possibly can in these videos, and there's no more to actually be taught unless you guys just kind of jump in and start doing some of this yourself, and start learning, basically like hands-on learning, and use the videos as you know, a rule of thumb and some basic guided principles to success. So because every situation is going to be different. Like this room, we're running LEDs. You could be running CMH, double-ended. You could be running another kind of LED, high pressure sodium, single-ended metal halides. We don't know what you're running. You know what I mean? We don't know if you have AC equipment. We don't know if your geographical location is cold climate, hot climate, humid, not humid. There are different things that you're going to need to look out for each room and each geographical location, depending on how you have it all set together. It's like a giant puzzle, okay? But once you got it dialed in, just keep rocking and rolling. All right, guys. Until the next video, peace out. I'm tired right now. Sorry if I'm rambling a little bit. And I'm out. Woo! So far, so good, man. Spider Farmer is looking great. You guys saw I finally found that footage. So if you're watching this video now and you didn't get a chance to watch day 65 of the Spider Farmer, not the last grow that I did, I've done a few since, but the last video series that I posted, look at that day 65 Spider Farmer SF4000 video. You're going to get a big idea what's going to go down in this room. And actually, it's going to be even bigger in this room, because now I have more experience with the equipment and those lights. And we're going to run some bomb ass genetics in this room, and I'm not really restricted to the space. So, alright guys, Tiger Hybrid signing out. Peace!